We were told there could be insane trades on draft night. Not Dallas dealing Cooper Flagg, but maybe the Spurs trade number 2. Definitely Sixers at 3. But no, the first trade we got all the way down at number 10, which we already knew about days before. So no big trades, but a lot of what we did get made zero sense. So the draft starts and a fan yells this right before Adam Silver walks out. Dallas was right! So good. But the Mavs take Cooper Flagg, and afterward Nico Harrison says he now hopes some of the public backlash against him dies down after trading Luka Doncic. Oh really? Because you're so great at your job now? You lucked into the number 1 pick and took the obvious choice? Let's check in on the Mavs draft party to see how that worked out. But the Spurs did not trade the number 2 pick, even though Dylan Harper is the exact type of player they already have. In fact, they've got 2 of them. Rookie of the Year Steph Castle and De'Aaron Fox are both dynamic guards who can't shoot, but Harper could be better than both of them and didn't reclassify. By the way, if somehow Dylan Harper wins Rookie of the Year, the Spurs will have back-to-back-to-back Rookies of the Year. But Philly shopped this number 3 pick and didn't like any of the offers they got, so they are going full 2 timeline with VJ Edgecombe. But summer's here, and my favorite way to stay fit is to do a little working out, but I always dial in the diet. What I found for me is that 90% of staying in shape is all about the diet. And I look for convenience, a good price, and most of all, something that tastes good. MyFitFoods has been amazing for me. A lot of you guys have reached out, said that you love them too. They are pre-made meals that are ready in just a couple of minutes, and they have so much variety, so I never get bored. Plus, it helps out the channel if you check them out and use my discount code AMH25 for 25% off your first order. They've got stores all around Texas. Plus, you could walk into a store in Portland or Denver. More stores coming soon. But I've tried a million of these meal prep places. MyFitFoods is by far the best one I have ever tried. So please go check them out. The discount code again is AMH25. So it is 30-something vets, Joel Embiid and Paul George, then much younger Tyrese Maxey, Jared McCain, and VJ. But 2 timelines suck. They should either trade Joel Embiid or look to deal a young guy, because you need to pick a path. Hornets draft Con Knipple, good shooter with size, we expected it, but at 5, a shock. Ace Bailey skipped workouts with NBA teams. He even scheduled one, plus dinner with the Sixers, and called 48 hours before and was like, hey, cancel the reservations. Why? Because Ace was trying to tank his own draft stock to fall to either DC, New Orleans, or Brooklyn. He feels like he could be a star, and those are the 3 best places for him. But at 5, the Jazz take Ace Bailey, and he hates it. They were like, look, we tanked all year trying to get Cooper Flagg, fell down to 5, so like, Ace. Dude then had maybe the most random quote of all time. What does this even mean?
There was a lot of speculation to build up in your draft process. You know, you seem pretty happy to me to be going to Utah. What do you say to people that maybe just don't believe that?
I mean, I control what I control, so how they feel. But to my team and me, me focusing on the basketball and them doing what they're doing, so it happens.
Right. Maybe my favorite draft night quote since Perk trying to say Moses Moody.
When you look at Moses Moody.
But Ace wasn't the only kid who seemed to hate where he landed. Watch Colin Murray Boyles here after Toronto was announced. Big frown, drops an F-bomb. His girlfriend straight looks like she's hugging somebody at a funeral. Okay, maybe he was happy, I don't know, but it didn't look like it. And why are we seeing so many ungrateful dudes? I mean, it used to be all like Danny Wolf's brother here, just crying with emotion. I think what's going on is NIL. Players used to be blown away at that bank account about to pop, but now some of these kids have been millionaires for years. So making the NBA is a dream come true, but it doesn't hit in the same way that it used to. So now we're seeing a lot more kids who are unhappy about where they ended up. But we did see some trades. And first, the Grizz got a kid named Cedric Coward, who was playing Division III basketball just a few years ago. He shoots all the way up to D1, then the number 11 pick in the NBA draft. How amazing is that story? But at 13, the Pelicans make one of the dumbest trades we've seen. So the Pels trade up to number 13 to get Derek Queen, with the Hawks for number 23 and an unprotected first round pick next year. So they trade up 10 spots and pay an unprotected first round pick for this? Really? Derek Queen. He might be good, but you don't know. I mean, his comps are Alperen Şengün and Boris Diaw, two of the weirdest NBA players ever. So far from a sure thing, and an unprotected next year, and it's the better pick from either the Pels or the Bucks. This thing could be top 5 easy. Like, just think about the Pelicans. Not gonna have DeJounte Murray most of next year. Zion's health, and they just traded for Jordan Poole. Next year could be Jordan Poole and role players. That pick could go number 1 overall for Derek Queen. Makes no sense. Same though for the Phoenix Suns. At 10, they take Kaman Malak, who is a great kid. Best character in the draft, they say. He is from war-torn South Sudan and super young. But they also traded for Mark Williams, which, health aside, is a great deal. The Suns get Mark for Vasily Micic, the number 29 pick, and the 2029 first round pick that they got in a trade with Utah. So Mark will be a great pick and roll partner for Devin Booker and Jalen Green. He's got the tools to be good on defense. All of this assumes he's healthy, which you can't turn injuries off like in a video game. Remember, Mark Williams is that dude who failed his physical with the Lakers, and the Lakers badly needed a center. They did not fail him for nothing. He ended up playing just 26 minutes per game last year and has played in just 106 out of a possible 246 career games. That is Anthony Davis territory or worse. What are the Suns doing? Oh, and the kicker to all of this, Kaman Malak and Mark Williams are both centers. Yes, they need a center, but have you seen the Suns' depth chart lately? Kinda need a lot of positions. So how are they gonna waste some of the few precious assets that they do have on 2 of the same position? It makes no sense. But the most shocking pick of the night came from Portland. At 16, they trade down to select Hansen Yang, a 7'1" center from China. This is a whole 30 picks ahead of schedule in some projections. 30 picks. No wonder the first thing he did was go and hug his agent, Rich Paul. So they call this kid the Chinese Jokic, and he's the first player from China taken in almost a decade. One anonymous NBA exec said, "This is the wildest pick I've ever seen. Those jobs up there are on the line." So it's safe to say the Blazers must love this kid. But this is the full first round. Again, no big trades at the top like we expected, but still a lot went down. Like 3 more French kids, by the way, being taken in the first round. Behringer, Asenge, and Traore. What is going on in France? Last year it was 4 French kids in the draft, and the year before that we had Wemby and Bilal Koulibaly at 7. France is already playing USA for gold in the Olympics, so Americans better watch out with all this French talent. Now, a lot did not make sense, but every year we look back on the draft and some NBA GM made some wild decision that paid off. We always get like some Kawhi late in the draft or a Giannis who ends up being way better than everybody expected. But the Celtics are doing something unexpected too. We thought that they would trade Drew Holiday and Kristaps Porzingis, which they did, but now rumors say Boston is listening to offers on Jaylen Brown and Derek White. You know, if they're not careful, they could ruin this team.